Yeah. Red alert, danger. If you know me, then I'm all about the paper. If you know me, then you know I gotta get it like 600 ways to the ring like a pager. Major, got a couple hoes that in Asia. Got a couple flows that I'm saving. I got a couple popular products. It's like I'm selling narcotics. I put your whole fucking face in the pavement. I heard these niggas saying that I fell back. Nigga, 14 grams, what you call that? Put it in the zip block, make them call that, make them haul that. When they talking, I ignore that. I be really getting my vibe in my own lane. I be smoking on the gas shit, the propane. I be up high on the soul plane. They don't want no smoke, that's low cane. Gang. All my life I've been a rider. All my life I've been a gangster. All my life I've been a soldier. All my life I've been a banger. Danger. Coming at me, that's danger. Danger. Coming at me, that's danger. All my life I've been a rider. All my life I've been a gangster. All my life I've been a soldier. All my life I've been a banger. Danger. Coming at me, that's danger. Danger. Coming at me, that's danger. Rolling with the birds, I be putting in the work and shut a Henny, make a whole bus backflip. Don't be talking out loud, don't even mention my name. The hood, know I get it popping with this rap shit. When I was dead, bro, niggas they ain't help me with shit. A cup of Henny, black him out and make it easy to spit. Nigga, look at my ride. Sitting on dubs, leave this shit under 10. Have it sitting on lugs, have it sitting on bricks. I'm about my shit. NGC, niggas know my click. Got me feeling on nobody trying to find that clip. In the room with a flashlight, high beams on in the spotlight, night light in the bright light from my iPhone, still couldn't find no hit. These niggas is trash, finessing this shit, and I aim for your head and your biscuit get hit. I'm sicker than the A's with the Rona. Big Glock 9 got the devil on my shoulder. Telling me to kill him, I can kill him, I can hit him in the head. Bring him to the top floor, have him hanging off the ledge like it's Big Red. Nigga, what I said on the star beef. Aiming for your car seat, pop, 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 5 heartbeat. Nigga know a heartbeat. Niggas try their best just to block me, but I'm on point like a Sharpie. All my life I've been a rider. All my life I've been a gangster. All my life I've been a soldier. All my life I've been a banger. Danger, you play with me and that's danger. Danger, you play with me and that's danger. All my life I've been a rider. All my life I've been a gangster. All my life I've been a soldier. All my life I've been a banger. Danger, play with news and that's danger. That's danger. You play with me and that's danger. I just gotta sip my drink. Drive safely. Yeah. News.
What is good? What is good? What is good? Good people. Who you just heard, that is CMOs, produced by Vanessa Banks. I thought that was a very appropriate song for tonight, what I'm going to be telling you about. And it has come into effect. And I want to read something to you. The Purge. I talked about this a while back. So if you look on the channel, you will see what the Purge is about, what cities it is coming to. Well, it has actually came to pass. Thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in, beautiful ones. So let's go ahead and read. Controversial Purge law in U.S. state is now in effect. A law that has been compared to action horror film series The Purge has come into effect across the U.S. state of Illinois today. Of course, they're saying that, of course, the law that has been passed earlier this year, it actually was passed on 01/01/2023, y'all. This year is suggesting anything as wild as that. But critics have suggested that it could create something a bit similar. That's because the law, which aims to essentially remove, listen to this, it is essentially to remove cash bail for certain offenses, means that police can't go out hunting for those who violate terms of bail by 48 hours. What's more, the bill allows judges to make the call on whether someone who is accused of a crime represents a risk of either committing an offense or disappearing before their court date. So essentially, I'm going to break it down. Actually, the judges, they can say whether they walk or not but it's about to get real deep, and I'm going to keep reading. Illinois is the first U.S. state to pass such a law, you guys. It's called the Safety Act Fairness and Equality Today Bill, and it just came into effect with the change of the year. So, according to legislation, detention only shall be imposed. Listen to this part, because if you think that it can't come to your state, it probably will. So, according to the legislation, detention only shall be imposed when it is determined that the defendant poses a specific, real, and present threat to a person or has a high likelihood of willful flight. So, what that says to me is that if the judge decides that they're not a high risk factor, you get where I'm coming from. Let's keep going. The law means that 12 non detainable offenses will no longer require a cash bail. And they are very serious offenses. Do you like to hear what the offenses are? Are you ready for this? Let's read, shall we? They are second degree murder, aggravated battery, arson, drug induced homicide, kidnapping, burglary, robbery, intimidation, aggravated fleeing and eluding, aggravated driving under the influence. Wow. Okay, the safety bill means that those who have been accused of these crimes can be considered for release. I'm going to read that again to you. The safety bill means that those who have been accused of these crimes can be considered for release should a judge deem them to be low risk. Let me read those offenses again for you. Second degree murder, aggravated battery, arson, drug induced homicide, kidnapping, burglary, robbery, intimidation, aggravated fleeing and eluding, and aggravated driving under the influence. Y'all, the new legislation also limits who can be arrested and kept in custody depending on which crime they are alleged to have committed. Obviously, there has been criticism of this law from new law enforcement and some politicians. Some stated, I'm very concerned about the increase in violent crime. But again, I do want to stress there is still time to fix it. And the state's attorneys are working very hard. It is very flexible. Let me explain to you all what this means. This means there's going to be anarchy, there's going to be chaos. Because, like I said, if these murderers, if these killers, if these kidnappers, God, a supreme peace to you, high vibes to you, beloved. If the second degree murderer or the aggravated batterer or the arsonist or the drug induced homicidist or the kidnapper or burglar or robber or intimidationist or aggravated fleeing and looting, aggravated driving under the influence, if a judge decides in my state that they are not a flight risk, then they can be released, you all. This is just past 0101 2023. I'm going to keep you informed. Last year, I spoke about this and I was praying that this would not happen, that they would not pass the bill. But it seems that they have on 0101 2023. I'm going to keep you abreast on what happens as a result of this new bill. It is going to be chaos. It is going to be a purge. And like I said, if it happens in this city, and let me explain to you, I always I always ask for discernment. I always ask for wisdom. Why do certain things happen? Why are they happening? And it is because our jails are overpopulated, you all. During the COVID, I got word, it's called a kite, but I got a word that there were a lot of brothers, especially melanated brothers, who were dying in there because of COVID, because, they just put them all together, just let them die off. And I thought about that. I thought about how much it costs to actually house an inmate per year. Well, we know that the 13th Amendment, we'll talk about that another day, but we know that they are still slaves. We know why they're in there a lot of times. It is big money, but it's not the cities are running out of funding. The states are running out of funding. There is something bigger and more sinister that is at work, you guys. If they're doing this in this state, they will do it in others. I promise you that. Tomorrow, I'm going to come back to you about China. I talked a couple of years ago, and I had a prophecy, or I had a dream, and I had kept talking about China. I kept speaking about that with the sisters. We had a huge sisterhood. One of the sisters said, "Why am I dreaming of China?" I said, "I'm dreaming of China too." I said, "Something is coming from China." This must have been about 6 years ago, I do believe. That was when the documentary came out, 6 or 7 years ago. But we had a roundabout about what's going on in China, and I kept dreaming about China. Peace to you, peace to all from all of the outlets. But I kept dreaming about China. I said, "There's something that's going to come from China. I don't know what it is." And if you all know me from outside of here, you will know that I actually spoke these words. But I said it's something going to be very, very dreadful. There's something that we're not going to be able to recover from. And then I did another series about depopulation, depopulizing a, a world. I thought about every generation. We have different diseases out of out of nowhere, just out of the blue. They appear, and then they have names, and then they take out a portion of humankind. And I said, well, when I first saw, I'm not going to get too deep into it. I'll talk about that tomorrow. But when I first saw the empty Walmarts, and I saw one, how it was being staged as a triage almost, I said, then there's something that is coming to our country. That this is a prototype. They're getting ready for something that's about to hit our country. And I don't know what it is, but there are going to be a lot of casualties. There are going to be a lot of people that lose their lives. Because when I saw that empty Walmart and how it was staged, I said, depopulation yet again. And I said, and I even spoke it. I said, well, I know that China is very overpopulated. First, they went with the one child law. I said, but it's so overpopulated. I said, how can you get rid of millions of people? You create you create something that is going to recreate itself over and over, but in different forms. I just heard today that the people in China, they were told not to go visit their elderly family members. Yes, the Chinua are they holding the precious earth materials hostage and polluting the earth so they can keep surviving. It's so much, but they are losing. Exactly. And when I heard that, I said, why would you? And then I thought about it. I said, why would their government tell their people not to check on their elderly? And it was epiphany. If you don't check on them, you don't know how bad they are. Let them die. You see, what is happening on this planet now, not just in my city, but in so many countries, it is a purge. It is it is a reset, if you will. That is exactly what is happening. That is exactly what is happening. You see, it is always, I believe, It has always been a master plan to weed out the old, the infirmed, and to basically allow those that you think could build a better future. Maybe those who survive whatever you throw at them. I also thought, why would they why would they allow the borders to be reopened if they had the zero policy and so forth? Because it didn't work. Because what they had planned, it backfired, you see. Because they did not think that their own people would rise up. They didn't, my heart went out to so many who had to stay in their home for months and months at a time with no food, nothing, because your government told you that you could not come out. I could not imagine. I could not imagine. And now, I've also heard that a lot of those who actually escaped to other countries, a few have eluded the airport police and they are on the run now, which means they did test positive for that, but now they're on the loose. This is nothing more than the purge, you all. This is nothing more than the purge. I ask that do not be do not be distracted. You see, a lot of apps. Hey, baby, a lot of apps are here to to be a distraction from what's really going on in our cities and in our countries, you see. So the more that they have us showing our arses, the more we don't watch the news, the more we don't see what's going on. You see, in the news as well, they're also controlled. But I can tell you this, that it's going to get worse before it gets better. I can tell my queens, especially, and my goddesses, that we do need to start stocking up. We need to start getting ready for the next wave. I don't want any of you all to be stuck and not be ready. When I go to the different stores, we see now, you all, the inflation, right? So we know it's this bad now. Imagine by the summertime how bad it's going to be. In certain cities, they're completely running out of food on the shelves. I've been getting pictures, I've been getting videos from people from around the different states. And they're saying, this is what is happening in our city. We can't find milk. We can't find this. We can't find that. And like I told them, get ready ahead of time so you will be ready when it comes. That is what I'm doing. Everyone that came in late or that are coming in later, please go ahead and rewind this so you will know about the purge that has just uh, that has just come to our city and the bill that has been passed. Peace, family. I love you all very much. I'll see you tomorrow.